Yo, what's going on guys? So in today's video I'm just going to be talking about the current state of Shadestep and Nightstalkers in current PvP meta today. For those that know me know that I religiously used Nightstalker as my main subclass for a long period of time before it got nerfed into the ground. Before Bungie made the changes to both the Smoke as well as the Shadestep, making it a lot less viable it is now compared to what it was in the past. So this gameplay in the background is a Rumble gameplay. Again, I spawned in late as you do in Rumble and ended up coming away with a win, using a couple of good plays utilizing Shadestep, even though it got nerfed, as I said, to only one Shadestep compared to two. So for those that don't know the changes to Nightstalker that Bungie made, in addition to that Shadestep nerf, so you do one instead of two, they also changed the way Smoke works, so now it's a lot easier to get out of, effectively making wombo combo a lot weaker. It's definitely a lot easier to get out of now, so you can't be as aggressive with your wombo as it used to be, which in my opinion, when you put it together with the Shadestep nerf, makes the class a lot slower than it used to be before the patch, which makes it not as viable as it used to be. It's definitely still usable, but it's not as powerful as it is in the meta today. If you use Hunter, I do recommend that you still give it a shot. Maybe it will work for you. It's definitely a lot more tactical and more of a support class than it used to be. A lot less aggressive compared to April update, but it's still pretty decent if you're able to control the movement and know when exactly to use your Shadestep. You only have one now instead of two, so it's a lot more valuable in that regard. You can't really spam it as you did in the past. You have to really pick your situations to when you use your Shadestep, and it could be the difference between living and dying. Personally, I don't use Nightstalker as much anymore compared to how much I used to use it. It's definitely not as strong as say Warlocks or Titans in the current meta. They're definitely a lot more powerful in terms of their neutral game and overall abilities. And personally, I think if you use the Hunter, you're better off using Blade Dancer, and if you shotgun, you should use Bones and better control. That just allows you to have the same movement the Nightstalker has, pretty similar, and the neutral game is a bit stronger in my opinion, giving you flux grenades as well as quick draw, which just makes the class feel a bit more aggressive, a lot more fast, and allows you to move them around the map and engage with your opponents a lot more smoothly, I think, compared to Nightstalker. That's not to say that Nightstalker is completely irrelevant in the meta today. I still think that players can still use it to a high standard, that is if they play a lot more slower. Mainly because, as I said, with the nerf to Shadestep, you can't be as aggressive as you used to because there's no get out of jail free card. With your Shadestep, you only have one, so you have to use it wisely, especially with the cooldown as well as the nerf to smoke grenades, which makes the class a lot more strategic overall and definitely rewards a more highly skilled player. Nightstalker definitely wasn't very easy to use before the patch, with Shadestep and Wombo being very powerful options in the meta, but I think now the changes that Bungie made, it definitely still suits those that master the class, and it's definitely a lot harder to use than it used to be. But of course, this is just my opinion. If you haven't used the class yet since the patch, I recommend that you give it a shot. Maybe it will suit you, maybe it won't, but it's definitely still worth trying out. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on the current state of Shadestep and Nightstalkers in the current meta today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something with Nightstalker and Hunters overall. As I said, I still recommend that you give it a shot. If not, then maybe use Blade. Blade is also a very strong option in the meta, especially if you still like Hunters. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoy the rest of this Rumble gameplay, and I'll see you next time.